Yarnchix podcast, and I have started the Yarnchix Adventism, which is basically a collection of things that I record during the Christmas Advent season all the way up to Christmas, and this is the last week before Christmas. Actually, it is Wednesday, so that means Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which is Christmas Eve, 4 days, and then Christmas Day, 5 days away. It's actually absolutely crazy. Plus, it's the solstice. Happy winter solstice. From now on in, we'll have more light every day. It should be good. It's been super dark in the mornings when we go to school and only getting light as we get there, and it's always dark when we get home. So I talk about knitting a little bit and I show glimpses of my knitting work, but it is mainly to do with our Christmas stuff. I will have filmed some of our Christmas baking. I have filmed when we went on a walk. Oh, that was a really lovely excursion on the weekend. My mother-in-law was here and we had like pre-Christmas fun, and we went for an amazing meal. I didn't film any of that. I might go back there for a meal with a friend and then I might sneak in some photographs. But our walk on the weekend was actually our way to pick up the Christmas tree, which is right there. It's really pretty. We walked up onto a viewing platform with an amazing view, and I sort of held the camera and panned across the panorama, and then the camera, or the phone, cut out as it was too cold, and my battery always dies when it gets a bit too cold and it's on low battery. Then I was like, oh no! But it did save this little clip, so I've got that to show you, and there is quite a little bit of clips from here and there and abouts, which I will share a little scene of with you now. Oh, plus all the sort of little making close-ups. This is moments of my 3rd week before Advent. There has been a bit of downtime for me, which meant quite a bit of knitting because I caught a cold that day. I cycled home. We have a Christiania box bike, which we loaded the tree into, and I struggled a bit on the way home. and got a bit sweaty and then cold, and then I carried the tree up by myself. Which, you know, I met my neighbour and she was like, Mimi, it's strong! And I was like, yes, I'm strong! But I came in and I was like, oh, but I'm also really weak. So I caught a cold and spent Monday and Tuesday quite a lot of time resting. However, I have got some of my Christmas making on the go and could sort of still work away at that. I had to postpone some of my shop rush around stuff, which, you know, I picked the card considering that I still had a bit of a rushy day today, but I'm happy as I feel better, and I'm happy as I've sorted everything. So 20th of December, Mimi, done. Well, one thing left for Friday, which I will take you along to that. One thing left, which then will be shared in the last adventism. But that's it. I feel like I've ticked everything off the list, and hooray for that. Hooray. Because now I can just make stuff. Oh, one of the things you would have just seen is was our biscuit making. This is the tin the biscuits live in. And I use Delphina, one of my friends, and I, we went to second hand last summer and found all these old handkerchiefs, and obviously I've washed them, well, actually sterilised them, boiled them, and now I use them as the lining for the cake tins to collect all the crumbs. And the girls made some of these amazing little shapes. And I love these little bonbons, and we've got quite a lot of them, so they will be iced ready for Christmas. Oh yeah, there's this really proud and still intact fox. It's one of our nicer little cutters. I loved baking with my daughter and her friend. That's lots of fun, and I will be baking some more and filming that for our Christmas cake. Now I'm going to show you all the different little makes that I have been processing. One of the things, I think I would have shared a picture before uploading, maybe tomorrow, so you'll get a little bit of a sneak peek. I am doing some carving, so I have basically saved the core of last year's Christmas tree. Well, we stripped it of all the branches, so I kept the core of the tree with the sort of branches looking out, and as part of the magic 3 mile for my son, I had started these. I think I shared some pictures during October, so I started this in October. It had had a couple of months to dry. When you work with wood that has been recently cut or in a forest wet, you always should leave it to dry as long as possible, because otherwise you'll start having, you know, you'll work away with your wood and it'll split later on, which is really frustrating because you've worked with wet wood, you know, it's still working. So it's good to leave it to dry through and through, which I did. October was the time I started this, which was sort of like a rough debark, and then it carried on drying, or let's say I left it again. And now, this is the third one, this is what I've basically started to work on most recently. These I consider finished. I will maybe sand them, but I do like that I used my, or one of my kids' opinel, like a Schnitzmesser, a little knife, and that you can see the marks of the knife. I quite like. I will sand it, however, so it's not as rough, but I'll make sure some of the markings is left. And here you can see there's still some bark left, so this is sort of my most recent project. And I will cut it, I think, along here. And I might have another branch here. What is it for? Sorry. This is going to be, these branch parts of the Christmas tree from last year will be mounted on a little wooden board, again with a bit of bark. It's sanded and cut to about this size, that's estimate. And then I have these 3 and potentially I think 1 more hooks that will be glue, I think I'll put one screw in at the sort of thickest part, so through the back of the board, through this branch, and then, but I will also use wood glue to glue them. And then there is basically all these bits of branches to be used as hangers. Like we have, for example, an amazing game. This is for my son, so he will have this up on his high bed. He can put, you know, the game on. He can put, what have I got? Have I got stuff on? Maybe if I'm clever with this one, because it's got quite long, maybe he can even put, oh god, this is a good thick book. Maybe a book can rest like that. I don't know. Doesn't seem to work. Oh, well, basically it's for stuff. Maybe a packet of tissue paper can be poked on toys, things. And so it'll be like a board with all these little bits of branches for storing stuff. And it was started as part of his Magic 3 Mile, together with the Humboldt sweater in his side. So the hook sting is for my eldest, and I started it as part of the Magic 3 Mile project for him, so he will get that, and he will be given my vanilla socks in the Hedgehog Pie because they don't fit me, they're too tight, but they fit him perfectly, so he will have them for me as well for Christmas. Then another project that I started as part of the Magic 3 Mile, to go with the Volo sweater that in episode 11 you would see of my podcast, you have seen a clip of. I also made a pair of shorts. That's again for the podcast, I will share it all there, and I will share it once this is finished. And I'd cut out all the bits of fabric, so hooray Magic 3 Mile productivity, but sort of stopped at some point, sorry. I did make a lot of stuff and start a lot of stuff, but that is also very productive for my Christmas, because now I've cut out all these parts, so these are all the parts that I will need, what's this? That I will need for this. And now let me get it right. Oh god. Plesiosaurus. I'm sewing a plesiosaurus. This is super exciting. My kids love prehistoric things. We are often, and I'm hoping again in this holiday, at the Natural History Museum in Berlin, which is fabulous. We have just amazing exhibits, but also exhibitions changing there, and my eldest has been obsessed with that. Like since he's 1.5 or 2, we go once or twice a year, so we do go. I think that's quite often for having seen it before, and every time he finds new understanding, new knowledge. Anyhow, I'm making this for my middle son because that is their current oh god, sorry. That is, so they currently are covering this issue as part of their IPC, so at school, and he is really into it, and he reads a lot, and it's exciting for him, so I think, and he likes having creatures around. He does look after them, so I'm super pleased I'm making this. So I hope I can finish, because I think it's literally now following these instructions. The instructions is, it's a Butterick, the Fashion One pattern called Prehistoric Pets, and now get this little mini print at the side reads, designed by prehistoric people. Oh, I love it! I was given this by my best friend Mimi's mum, because she knows that I love making, and she found it in her fabric collection. I was like, I know you're gonna really enjoy using this. There is mammoths, there's the plesiosaurus, and there's a Tyrannosaurus Rex. I'm making this in the blue fabric, and then the contrast, which is underneath the flippers and inside the mouth, I'm using this orangey with the pattern. I can't wait to show you the finished thing next episode. So that is one make. One make to be. So middle son, so oldest middle son. My smallest has already got this waiting for her. I finished it. It's got a button. I mean, we should all have capes like this. Everybody should have a cape. So that is finished. Amazing. So the vanilla socks are finished. My knitting is actually off the needles. The sewing needs to happen, the woodwork needs to happen. But as I've finished all the shop crazy, apart from the food stuff, which we'll do closer to the time and share, I can spend my time sewing and making. So, but I still have one knitting project, at least somewhere in my mind, that I would like to knit, and I would want to use this reclaimed wool. This is a ball, and I still have more of this jumpered frog of a charity shop iron weight sort of I've gone blank. Zopfpulli, I would say in German. Play? Oh god. It's late and I'm stupid, I can't think of it. I'll put the word in here. And I want to knit Otso out of this. Otso is a teddy bear design by Sophie, and I will put her Instagram name here. She designed this for Loop London, and Loop London offers this up as a free pattern through their website, and it's this little bear, and he appears, actually I'm going to quickly grab my zine because he appears in there in the second issue. I wrote all about my visit to London and the Pomfest, and I met at the stand, Rauwwerk stand, my friend Daggie's Otso. She had knitted this out of Rauwwerk wool. You can see, oh, and I love this page. I love how when you open that page, Otso peeks out. I just love Otso. And Daggie knit her Otso from Rauwwerk wool. That's why it came along to Pomfest, which this is a diary record of documentation, and I want to knit it from this reclaimed ball of wool. I'm hoping it's a fast pattern and I can knit that in 2 nights. We'll see. Oh, you will see in the next Adventism whether that is a success. I am drinking my golden milk again, so I might have a bit of a yellow lip, most likely a yellow tongue, sorry. The last time I spoke about golden milk and my kurkuma tea, and apart from me being really super chatty this time again, oh, I'm sorry, more podcasty than adventism me. I wanted to talk about this because it is a powder set that I use, which is Kurkuma Latte by Zontor, and I have been asked about this. And look, Uli, hi! It does have the sediments at the bottom. That's why I put it in the glass this time. This is just what happens, and it says so on this tin, so I was happy to read that because we were both wondering how to work against it. What does it say? Gewürze lösen sich nicht vollständig auf. So the spices don't all dissolve. Not all parts of the spices dissolve. So you have these sediments. I have worked out for myself that it does get better when you put a bit more fat in, and I use coconut oil. You know, use a scrape about 1/3 of a teaspoon is what I add per glass, which is Ayurvedic anyway, to add a bit of fat to your golden milk, and it makes it a bit more round. And if you use the whisk quite a lot, it sort of gives it a bit of a froth and it stays in. And I've realised if I add that or a dollop of cream, that the sediments are less. So maybe the fattiness of the milk, or if you change the fat content of your milk, it automatically changes the adaptability, or how it absorbs, how the milk absorbs the spices. I don't know if that really can be called a theory. It's an idea. And Louise, you asked about what tea it was I was drinking last time, and I think I answered you. I have now run out of that one. It was called the flower turmeric tea, and I bought a new, and they didn't have it in the shop that I went to, and I have to have a cup of this every evening at the moment. So I bought a Pukka turmeric gold, and this is a bit lemony. Oh god, it's got green tea in it. No wonder I'm like buzzing. But this is really nice. It's really nice and spicy, and they come in these little sachets, which are, I think, super effective because the tea always tastes mega fresh. I have had kurkuma and made tea from the root itself, which is beautiful, and this comes quite close in taste. Oh, whilst I'm almost taking down this lamp, this is a treat I got for myself. When I was thinking about my dreams and my work, I realised I need a light for my knitting, because I knit in a sort of semi-light so much in the evening. My eyes have started to go wobbly, and with this extreme dark and my knitting love, I needed a lamp, and I bought it today, and it's been already helping me, so I'm super chuffed. So that's for fulfilling your own dreams and looking at what helps you as well in getting ready for Christmas for others. And another thing I got myself is this for my Yarnshrine, and there's all my yarns in there that are urgently asking to be cast on. Oh god, I'm really tickly. I think there was some dust in that pattern. Ugh. Ancient British pattern dust. Yeah, all of these are crying out for Christmas cast-ons. There is the Hangman on the Wall. There is some amazing Orbis etc., which I am gonna do something amazing with. I can't wait. There is Rauwerk, and there is Tulva yarn, and there is the Wool Kitchen yarn. All these are basically talking about Christmas holidays for me. Holidays! Once all the makes for Christmas are done, this is what I'm going to dive into. And Yarnshrine, there will be a giveaway, and I'm going to show you, or I'm going to share a glimpse of what it is you can win. The giveaway runs until the 28th of December, so you have exactly 1 week to upload a picture of your Yarnshrine. That could be one skein of your Christmas tree wool, it could be like this, the collection of yarn that you want to work with, it could be the space, like my spaces, where you keep your most precious yarn, or your current what is currently on your biggest knit dream list. It could be that sock yarn, just one skein that just tickles you, or something that you don't know what you're gonna make with, but that you adore. So share a Yarnshrine pics, and that will ensure 5 entries to the Yarnshrine giveaway. December 28th of December is the cutoff point, and you can win this Yarnchix calendar. I've come up with a little photo calendar, and it is not just yarn, it's different photographs every day. I might share a little flick through at the end of this adventism. I might not, might be a secret, but this is the very first one of the calendars, and I will pick names out of a hat or a basket or something, because I like doing that, writing down all your little Instagram names, and then one of you will get this in the post ready for the 1st of January. Well, if you live in the States, it will, I guess, arrive a bit later. Open worldwide. Because I wanted to do something special for the last Yarnshrine giveaway, and I can't wait to share this with someone. And oh God, I hope you enjoy taking part, sharing your yarn prayer, places of yarn prayer, and just shrines, yarn shrines. There is one finished object which I wanted to share here, because it is the scrap vent project, which was this amazing Tony hat. The pattern is by Yarnchix, and she just released it on Ravelry. I got to test it, and these were all end bits. So the blue is John Arbon Textiles, I think alpaca 2-ply, 2 to 3 ply, I think they call it. and then leftovers from my rock hopper shawl, and just the yarns work together really well. This is actually quite small. If I put it on, you will see it sort of travels up quite quickly. So I think I knit a medium, and I told Orlan already it is more kid size because I use that thinner yarn. So I should have knitted the L size, I think, then it would fit. I'm thinking to maybe unravel and add another repeat. But this was my scrap vent for Jane's, I think it's called Jane, her Instagram is called Jane probably, or probably Jane. Oh God, I hope I didn't mix that up. I'll put the right name here. And she had the scrap rent initiative, and this was using up some of my leftover yarns. And I have now, for the last week, started to carry on with the project, which is my penguin on my size. And that is a very scrappy project. I'm just using end bits and mixing and matching and marling. So I thought in the last week I will just play along with this. I haven't shared a picture about that or anything. I just do these things and never share. So that's just to carry on with the sort of scrap vent mode. Lastly, I wanted to show you what I got in my magic yarn ball swap. And as part of that, I actually filmed when I wound my magic yarn ball, and my mum's cat got involved. So this was filmed last week when I was away at home, and that cat is absolutely amazing and crazy. She's a farm cat, so she likes to play with wool, and it was really fun. So I will share that little clip now. Magic Yarn Ball Swap is an initiative by Yabo Rotterdam and May, who sorts out and organises all the sort of matching, did fabulously. Well, I was lucky basically. My name was put forward for Josh, who is Breiwerken on Instagram and a really good dear friend, and she sent me this amazing set. Within this ball of yarn there's lots of little treats and surprises. Josh said there's some Yarnshrine goodies in there, something for my shrine. There's some, you can hear things and you can see little things poking up. I loved this project. I took part last year and this year was a lot of fun. I had ordered especially a skein of Rain Cloud and Sage, which is a local yarn from Hessen, from where I grew up and where I was to wind the ball, and I sort of happily gifted that because it was something really special, and it went to America of all places, so that's exciting. And then I came home and I received this parcel and I was just amazed. Josh has designed a cowl especially for this, for me, for her, for the swap, and she has knitted it and shown me it and I have cast it on. That's how far I go. I do not want to knit it like this. I've just found 2 straight needles because it's actually a project where I can work on straight needles and I really fancied that. I think that's really nice for the holidays. So this is gonna be happening, and then whilst I knit, I will find the presents and they will keep falling out, and then it's sort of full of surprises. Love it. Thank you so much. I can't wait to share more about it because it's super exciting that Josh made this cowl. So with that, with me super excited with my Christmas sort of knitting ideas, with the project that I'll be knitting for Christmas, around Christmas, definitely on Christmas Day, I'm gonna be Magic Yarn Ball Swap knitting. I want to say goodbye and good night because I'm tired, I'm all over the place. I think I'm gonna have to edit the crap out of this one. Thank you so much for coming and joining me, and come back soon. I will upload something on the 25th of December, which is soon. Bye bye.